We'll call the August meeting to order. If I can ask everyone to stand, also with the invocation, then we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. So, gracious God, we thank you for this gift of the day, beautiful day in West Michigan again. What a pleasure to live here. What a community that we have the gift to live in. Thank you for what we have here: water, parks, schools to be open soon. We just thank you that we have the ability at this board meeting to guide this community, to listen to this community, and decide things for this community. May we do it with wisdom and integrity. We love you, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. I'd like to welcome our audience today, our neighbors, and a few guests with us today. Thank you for coming inside and leaving the beautiful outside there. You have a lot of choices tonight, but thank you for being here tonight. We'll try to get to your item of interest in due fashion as quickly as we can. So, is there any additions or deletions to the agenda from my colleagues? Seeing and hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda as it stands.
So move.
All right. Great. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. It passes. Approval of the consent agenda. A and B, approval of the minutes from our regular meeting, July 10, and payment of the bills. Any changes to the minutes or observations or changes to the bills? All right, seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second, great. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we're going to go into our first public comment. This is a time for the community to comment on anything you'd like. As you're inclined to say your name, where you might live, and please try to limit your comments to 2.5 minutes. And appreciate your graciousness of being here. And I will let you know if you go too long. So this is also just a reminder, it's not a back and forth, so we won't go back and forth with you. If there is some issue that you'd like to take up in further detail, please contact me or Jan or Joan, and we would love to meet with you. So great. With that, I'll start on, well, let's understand that Mr. Jim, our county commissioner, would love to say some thanks. Jim, welcome.
Good evening. I'm Jim Berry. I live at 982 North Baywood Drive here in Park Township. I just wanted to stop by just to check in on Township board here, and just a couple of quick notes from the county. Search for the county administrator continues. The Sentinel said it was the third attempt, but it's actually just a continuation of the second. We have 24 candidates that remain under consideration for a search for the new administrator, 24 that carried over from where we were in June. And we took a pause on things and we reposted the position. We have additional candidates now. We now have 57 candidates interested in becoming the next Ottawa County administrator. So it's an embarrassment of riches. I don't know any of the names of the people that are on that list, but I've been told it's a really solid group of individuals. Gives me a lot of confidence on that. Excuse me. The posting was closed on Monday. Excuse me. And the administration is putting packets together so that we can actually manage the information on 57 candidates. And we'll probably get that early next week. Our next board meeting will be on the 26th. And our goal at that meeting will be to whittle that list down to about 5 or 6 candidates that we want to bring in for in-person public interviews. So that'll be an exercise for the board to figure out how we bring 57 down to 5 or 6 or so, or whatever that eventual number is. And those interviews will probably take place in the early part of September. I've got every confidence that I think we should be able to at least name who the permanent county administrator will be by the end of September, which will be the end of the third quarter. And it was closer to home. On Tuesday, the Planning and Policy Committee approved and sent to the board a contract that includes money for replacing the steps on Tunnel Park on the east side of the dune that goes up to the top, where kids run down the hill and the parents try to follow them down the steps. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Those things cost money and it takes time to do it, but a little improvement to some Tunnel Park as that goes on. That's really all I've got. I'll be around for a while if there's an opportunity for questions. I've been happy to discuss anything, but thank you for your time.
I know Jim is available for one-on-one meetings as well, so please contact him if you do have any questions. Yep. Oh, well, one more.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, Commissioner Jordan Juritzma and myself are hosting coffee with the commissioners at Simpatico Coffee and Butternut. And we'll be there from 10 to 11 to answer questions, hear concerns, 10 to 11 tomorrow morning at Simpatico. Thank you for the plug.
There we go. Coffee with the commish. All right. Sounds good. All right. Going back that way, I see a couple colleagues, but going back through the right side, my left. Okay, seeing none, we'll go to this side. Please. Yes.
Not really prepared, but I'm,
Yeah.
and I'm sure. I'm Christy Goolsby. I live at 15172 James. I'm on the Ottawa County Fair Board, and I know that we've been talking about the community building. And we would all like to be here to support that and for any decision making. We have a couple ideas ourselves, what we'd like to see on the spot.
Okay.
So,
All right.
thank you.
Yes, please.
My name is Barb Shaftsma. I live in Wachsoo Woods. I just wanted to come in and share something that we really enjoyed last month. We stopped by the fire department and I had a friend's two little grandsons, 3 and 2 years old. They were so wonderful to them. We got the cutest pictures. They dressed up to show the boys what they look like if there was ever a fire and not to be afraid. I asked them if they did that at the schools and they said they used to reach out for the schools. And it was something they were hoping to get back into. I really hope that that's something that might be possible someday because I think it's so important for the little ones, especially to see them when they're all dressed up and they have on, you know, their full suit and they're breathing and talking as they're breathing. Like they said, kids' tendencies are to want to go and hide from them because it's kind of scary. So if the kids can become more comfortable with what that looks like and what it sounds like, it makes it easier for them that kids aren't going and hiding under beds and hiding in closets. So, but I wanted to give a shout out to the gentleman there, and then a police officer also stopped in and he had the little badge for the boys and they got the fireman's hat and the fireman's badge and coloring book. I mean, there were so many wonderful things. So we're sharing that with the community. Stop in it. It never hurts to ask. That's what we did. We just stopped in and asked. You know, we saw the door was up and these two gentlemen who were there were wonderful. And so was the police officer. So just wanted to share that with you.
Great. Thank you, Barb. Well done there, Chief. Please pass on that affirmation to your team. Thank you. Yep. Moving back another row. Anybody else? All right. Hey, I think we'll close public hearing at this point. Thank you. Those are encouraging comments. All right. Just to remind ourselves of what our mission, our Park Township vision and mission and values are. Just remember, our vision, Park Township is a family-friendly, connected community that values our natural features, agricultural character, and recreational opportunities. Our mission, we proactively listen and lead, providing exceptional services and amenities while carefully stewarding our resources. And we're going to do this with the values of integrity, respect, and being genuine. So just a reminder as we jump into this meeting, what we're here for. So with that, we will jump into department reports. There's quite a number of them in our packet. And if there's any questions as we run through these items on any department questions.
No questions, but I'll comment on our report from the sheriff's office. I had opportunity to just quickly read through that when the packet first arrived and noticed that there was a cops and cones event going on as I was reading it. So I jumped in my car and went and said hello and had ice cream.
That was great.
Yeah.
Good. Super. I did notice that our fire department made the news yesterday about a fire save you had on a boat on a shore station. So that actually made the TV news. So well done. Thank you guys for that. Any other questions for our particular departments? All right, seeing none, we'll continue on. We have two presentations, one from our fair team. So Laura, please. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm Laura Kramer. I'm the treasurer of the Ottawa County Fair. As you know, we have had a hot, dry summer, and it was a very hot, dry week for the fair. We feel our attendance was down just a little bit, probably because of the heat. But we had a good week. It was our 66th anniversary. We did give away 66 bikes. And we had a full week of activities. We want to report on some of the improvements, highlight some of the improvements we made to the fairgrounds this year. We spent over $12,000 on tree removal. About half of that was after the storm that came through, but we had done our normal spring cleanup before then, I think. Otherwise, it would have been probably much worse. We put over $20,000 into a black top coat on our midway driveways and spread crushed gravel on the gravel roads. And that was a big improvement to the dust, especially with how dry it was. We did a pretty massive electrical upgrades, over $20,000. So in total, over $52,000 of improvements this year. So we think we're going to have a break-even year, but we did cover those costs without an issue. So I felt really good about that. And just to highlight the community building, we plan to attend further meetings to give our input or to try to find something to preserve part of the building or what that space would be used for. So we appreciate the board's support and Park Township letting us rent the facilities, and I think it was a good fair year again this year. I don't think it's done.
Yes.
Yep. Excellent.
Yeah, you're great.
Great. Thank you.
Any questions before Laura disappears? Any questions for Laura and the fair board team? Wondering any comments from your perspective to your representatives? Board?
No, she covered it all. It was a fantastic year over here.
Thank you. Thank you, Laura. All right, audit, audit update.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having me tonight. Come and report on the township's audit for the fiscal year ended March 31st. As usual, Connie did a great job in hosting us and having everything all nice and ready for us to get the audit completed timely. So just thought I'd go over a few of the things with you this evening. I believe you have your audit books in front of you. If you turn to page 1, that's the independent auditor's report. After we come in and go over a lot of books and records of the township and look at a lot of internal controls, we form an opinion on the financial statements. And the opinion is in the second paragraph there where it says the financial statements present fairly in all material respects the financial position of the township. So that's a good, unmodified, clean opinion and certainly what you want to have when you have an audit done. And if you've I'll just have you a page kind of through it to page 3. This is management's discussion and analysis. It's a chance for management to kind of highlight all the things that occurred during the year. And you can see those in the financial highlights at the top of page 3. Just the big things are the insurance settlement. The final number was received on the community center that burned a couple years ago. The pickleball courts were completed and are very popular, I understand. And developed a new EMT program within the township as well this past fiscal year, just right near the end of it. I don't want to spend too much time in there. I'd rather have you look at all the numbers. So page 9, there's kind of 2 sets of financial statements in here. Pages 9 and 11 are one set, and this is what we call on the full accrual basis. And it shows all your capital assets, any outstanding debt, if there was any, and that kind of thing. But you can see right at the bottom of page 9, the unrestricted net position of the township is 14 million. That means that's the money that is technically available for expenditure and not restricted by any outside source for other purposes. You do have a net investment in your capital assets of about 19 million. So I'll look at a footnote with you and show you what that is made up of in just a minute. And go to page 11. Just the bot. Yep.
Observation, the liabilities that we have essentially no debt, correct?
You have no outstanding debt. That is correct.
I just want the community to know that.
Yeah. That's in my notes here.
Okay.
So thank you for voicing that. Yeah, page 11, this is just basically the income statement or statement of activities. The net position did go up by 4 million. So as as capital gets invested, the net position goes up. As it depreciates, the net position will go down a little bit, but it's in very good shape again this year. And then the next set of financial statements starts on page 12, and this is the set you're more accustomed to seeing. It's on a modified accrual basis. That's technical stuff. I call it the budgetary basis. This is kind of normally what you see on a month-to-month basis as you look at your financial reports or quarterly, however often you see them. But the left-hand column there on page 12 is the general fund balance sheet. And you can see right at the bottom there, the unassigned, 3 lines up from the bottom, unassigned fund balance of the general fund is 2.8 million. So that means that amount is not set aside for anything. And you can see spread across pages 12 and 13, although there is a very large fund balance of about 25 million. There's several different funds that money is allocated into for both capital projects and other special revenue funds, which means it's a restricted revenue that you cannot use for general operations. So that's why I kind of concentrate on the general fund, which has 2.8 million in it. On page 13, you can see that the column called the Township Improvement Fund. It's the 4th one from the right. And there's a set aside amount there of 4.2 million. And that is the insurance proceeds that has been set aside for future use, the community center insurance proceeds. So that's identified in here to be used. And then pages 16 and 17, this is the income statement for those same funds. And you can see on page 16, again, the left-hand column, your general fund, it did decrease. The fourth line up from the bottom, it did decrease by about 840,000. However, just over 2 million was transferred into that township improvement fund to be set aside for future capital projects with a lot of things that the township has going on. So before that, before the transfer, there was actually income in the fund of 930,000. So it is still in very, very good shape. Then I buried my notes. Oh, if you jump ahead to page 33, this is the general fund budget to actual comparison page. Always do a very good job of budgeting. And there was on page 33, you can see this shows the original and final budget amounts along with the actual expenditures. There was only one minor over expenditure of budgets in the election department. Other than that, nothing of significance. And then you can see down at the third line up from the bottom, the amended final budget was to have a decrease in fund balance of 1.8 million, and the actual decrease was about 840,000. So you actually finished about $1 million ahead of your budget. So if we go just a couple footnotes to point out, the footnotes kind of give further explanation of some of the information in the financial statements themselves. Page 21 is footnote, no, 26, sorry. Page 26 is footnote number 2. This is the regulatory footnote that we have to report to the state so that you can see that one over expenditure is reported there. It's minor enough that the state won't demand any correction on it. And then just the page 26 and 27 is your cash footnote and investment footnote. And you can see your most of your funds are very carefully invested. On page 27 there, 22 million of the money is invested on getting some decent interest rates there. And if you jump to page 29, this is the capital asset footnote. A lot of things going on. You added about 1.9 million in new capital this year with between the street infrastructure, the completion of the pickleball courts. There's some community center building work done, and just a lot of good things going on in the community. Are there any questions that anyone else might have on the statements? I go through and kind of point out what I think is important, but there might be other stuff you think is more important. So happy to try to address those. It's easy when things are looking good. So.
I'd just like to publicly thank Connie and the team for, again, another clean audit, but also day-to-day business is run so, cleanly and regularly and effectively. So I just want to say thank you to Connie and the team that makes it all happen. That makes our pseudo-volunteer board look really good. But honestly, we don't do too much. We don't do too much with this. It's the team within the building. And I just want to make sure that we acknowledge that our team within the building does a fantastic job. So thank you. Thank you, Connie and team for what you do for our community. So thanks. Thanks, Doug. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm glad that we can have an easy audit for you. All right. We do have to accept the audit, so I'll take a motion to accept the audit. Thank you. Great. Okay, all in favor of accepting the audit, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, great. Audit is accepted. Thank you. All right. At this point, we're going to go into ideally a shorter closed session with our attorney. I'll read this and then we'll take a roll call vote to go into closed session, correct? If I do that, if roll call. To enter closed session under section 8(1)(e) and 8(1)(h) of the Open Meetings Act to consult with the township attorney regarding strategy in connection with the pending Park Township versus Ward litigation, and to consider a written communication from the township attorney that is exempt from disclosure under section 13(1)(g) of the Freedom of Information Act as being subject to attorney-client privilege. So roll call vote to go into closed session. Well, let's do a motion to go into closed session. Do I hear? Oh, no. You will ask. Oh, wait, make a motion. Okay, make a motion. Great, support. Great, thank you.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Trustee Gerard.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Serna.
Yes.
Treasurers. Spoolbach
Yes.
and Brooke Zarapis.
All right, the motion passes. We'll go into closed session. To our audience, we'll do our best to be efficient with our time, but it's also an opportunity for you to leave if you need to. So. I'm glad you simplify our life.
Yeah, whatever you, yeah. Here to answer any questions. If I can't answer, Jim Barry can.
Thank you for your patience and trust and neighbors. I'll take a motion to come back out of closed session into open session.
Thank you, motion.
Support. All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Great, we're back in. So thank you. So we'll move on to the next action item. The zoning, I thought we were going right into D, but I guess we'll have to wait till. Okay, so A, lake freeze drain petition and resolution. I think that's you, Joe. So that's you. You're set up quite well by your colleague last month. And,
I did. Yeah, thank you.
He prepared us well. So thank you for sending him and having him introduce the issue. So
absolutely. And I'm glad he was able to come here and give an update. I was in another meeting at the same night and at the same time, so I couldn't make both meetings. So again, Joe Bush, Water Resources Commissioner. And again, thank you for your time tonight. Before you might see a petition that was, talked with your previous manager about all the issues. And I brought a handy dandy map in case anybody forgot the red dots and what they represent, which is quite a few of the sinkholes that have happened in Lake Breeze and the road right away. We've been repairing a lot of them. They keep popping up. The sad part is these roads were repaved not so long ago. So I don't know what caused this issue, but the road commission looks at it and says, well, hey, this is your drain district. This is your drain. It's on my, it's in my lap. And I said, well, I'm not really sure what to do with it because the cost to even look into it. With Cameron, I think my staff said the camera came back at 31,000. The camera, the whole system, because we don't know what's going on with it. Certain parts that we did camera doesn't show any concrete failure or sinkholes down below. There's definitely sinkholes forming, and the road commission says, well, it's really your problem, Joe. So I can only spend so much money per year per drain without a petition. So it's totally this board's discretion if a petition seems something like you want to do or not. I'm not forcing it. I don't have the jurisdiction. It's just one of the options that the road commission could petition, the people can petition, or municipality or MDOT. Of course, MDOT's not in here. The road commission said they're not going to petition, and the people, they don't usually want to petition for road infrastructure. So it's totally up to your discretion, board, on what you want to decide to do. But again, I'm just here for information and explain to you the situation, which my colleague already has, or my staff, I should say. I'm just here to answer any questions on the resolution petition. It is a county drain for now. So anything moving forward would be a maintenance petition and resolution petition to start the process of having a board determination, which will be here at Park Township if you decide to go that route. If not, that's fine too. We'll find another creative solution and keep, putting different things in these sinkholes for the public safety. But we put quite a few patches in these things, and they just keep having callbacks from your residents. So it's not like I go look for this. Your residents call and say, hey, we got problems out here. So but I'm here to answer any questions and any definitions that you need from me.
any questions from my colleagues, please?
Yeah, Jan.
If we go forward with this,
Mhm.
is it the townships
cost and the county's cost, or are we going to assess the property owners?
All the above.
All the-
Yeah, all the above. And then, but before anything, the petition is the first step. The next one, I'd hold a board of determination here and, mail everybody a notice in the drain district that we're having a board of determination. And they'll come here and give public testimony if they're in favor or not in favor of. But that 3-panel board for the board of determination, I believe Steve has sat in those for me. Usually it's township supervisors from across the county that fill in on those that I appoint. So I appoint those 3 board members. It's nobody on this board or planning commission members. It's nobody in the township. I get other supervisors from typically other supervisors. I'm not sure who I'd get. But we'll put an all call out there and have a board determination here sometime in the near future, sometime in October, probably, to get it scheduled if you choose to sign the resolution petition. So there's another process. It's not like it's going to just go through because you sign it. There is a board determination that has to happen. And that board might decline and say, we're not going to approve this. They could. It's totally up to them.
Before the board of
Mhm.
determination meeting, there is some analysis done so that the residents do understand the scope of the problem
Absolutely.
correctly.
Yes, that
So
is
that
correct.
cost of that $31,000 is coming from,
Well, I probably wouldn't do it all. I probably would do the hot areas first, because then, or when I say hot, the ones that have been hot calls,
Yeah.
like every week, I'd probably do those areas first. Some of those have already been cambered. So I didn't want to spend too much money up front because I'm like, what's going on down below?
Sure.
So we used plumbers and cambered it. So there's a little bit of cost already, probably enough to do analysis already that there's issues out here. So.
if I can just share a moment, I sat on a board of determination trio it was earlier this year.
Mhm.
And it was engineering gentleman had done some analysis, pretty good analysis on a drain. And the community in that area listened to him to understand the scope of the issue. And the issue was obvious to the community, and they affirmed the engineer's analysis. And so that community agreed with what was going on, and the public commented on that. They all had a chance to comment on this issue, that's the issue. And so the 3 board members said, this is the drain. It's that red line means that everyone within that red line is impacted by the problem. And then I'll be in full transparency, the cost is borne by all those people in that red line area. So ultimately, if there's a solution that costs money, it's really that district that takes responsibility for the financial burden on that area. So, but there's a process that it goes through. It's very public, very transparent. Our community truly will know what the problem is, and they'll have an opportunity to give feedback on it. But our board will not be part of the determination of, yes, hey, you're going to get taxed, or this is your problem. 3 outsiders, an engineering firm, Joe Bush's team, will demonstrate what the issue is. And I was really impressed. All 3 issues were very clearly identified. We had three issues, and all 3 issues were affirmed by the board and also affirmed by the community that came. So it's a very clean process. If we have an issue like this, and Joe's recommending that we look deeper into it, I can only say, I affirm. I'm not going to make the motion, but I would affirm that we dig into it deeper.
Again, that's to make it clear, because it's been talked about in another project that the Drain Commission was promoting a petition. And trust me, I have enough work going on right now. I don't need more petitions, but I want to make sure for your residents and your constituents that there's an opportunity for that situation, because the property owners aren't, this is nobody's backyard. Now, if it's somebody's backyard flooding, typically the property owners would be, petitioning. But being that's in the road and the road commission doesn't want to petition, I'm just giving the option for this board. So again, I'm happy to do at your discretion. I'm here to serve whichever direction you go. So just for the record, I'm not promoting any petition or I'm here to serve on your behalf as your water resources commissioner. So again, and I know I worked with Dan enough for over the years, quite a few years now, Dan. We're starting to work together for a long time. He knows how the process and how transparent it is. So again, whatever your board decides to do with it. I'm happy to go that direction. Any more questions for me?
All right.
Thank you. Thanks for your time.
No, you stay there for a while,
Yeah.
but I'll entertain a motion to go to the next step.
So the question is it for a motion for the petition or a motion for the resolution for the petition?
Both. I gotta have, yeah,
Do we do those separate?
yes.
Okay, okay, so I'll.
Resolution, what I see in the.
Yep.
The two.
Okay, so I'll make a motion for that we petition for maintenance and improvement of the Lake Breeze Drain District.
I support.
Any questions or comment before we take a vote? All right, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Great. Right, so one, all right, and so now there's a petition for a resolution.
Correct.
It should be a resolution for petition and maintenance improvement.
I'll make a motion for the resolution for the petition for the maintenance and improvement of the Lake Breeze Drain District.
And I'll support that as well.
Great, thank you, Jim. Sure. Any questions or comments before you take a vote? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, seeing none. Great. Motion, the petition and the resolution passes.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, board.
We
Thanks for your time tonight.
look forward to more communication from your team.
Absolutely.
Great, thank you. All right. Learning something new. Okay, B, 11B, proposed millage rates and public hearing date. Let's see, from Connie. Connie, would you like to make any comments on this? This is kind of a routine thing we do every year. And thank you for coming and explaining to us again what it is.
Sure. So every August, we ask you to review the proposed millage levies and authorize a public hearing. The hearing occurs in September, after which we need you to approve the millage rates for the December tax bills. Under tooth and taxation legislation, in order to access the additional taxable value that comes from inflationary increases, which is at 3.1% this year, you have to hold a public hearing. Without a public hearing, they limit how much you can levy. The difference between what you could levy with the hearing versus without is about $478,000 across all levies. So we have budgeted, assuming that we would have the hearing and access those funds. So I don't know if anyone has any additional questions.
To a couple of our new board members, this is something that we do every year. So you'll see this again and again for the next 3 years. So. Any questions or comment for Connie?
Just one question, bicycle path millage, was that because we approved as we know?
That's part of the 478,000 because that was increased from 0.4 to 0.55 based on the November election.
Okay. Thank you for that clarification, Jim. All right.
This guys real quick, and maybe you explain this instead. Yeah, I was looking at this. It says the operating millage is the same for, we'll just look at operating millage, 0.3276. It's going to be the same for 24 and 25. Why does the taxable value change if the millage rate is the same? Doesn't it? I mean, there's. Well, I'm sorry, the tax bill changes. It says for 2024, the tax bill would be $333.92. At the proposed tax bill, it would be $347.92.
That would be the increases in taxable values from properties, the 3.1%.
Is that for all of them put together? Oh, okay, I get it. Okay, great.
Good question. Thank you. Any other questions? All right, we do need to approve this resolution to do a notice of public hearing for next month. So I'll take a motion for that.
The resolution for proposed December 2025 millage rates for Park Township with a public hearing to be held on Thursday, September 11th.
Great. Great. Thank you, Jen. Any questions or comments before the final? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. Thank you, Connie, for your clear and simple explanation of what we're doing here. Thank you. All right, the next item. Okay, next item is a item that is come to our attention because of what we are adding to our portfolio of offerings at our township, which means like a rentable space. It's called on-call pay. And Connie, can I just ask you to come back up and this is an issue, it's an opportunity for us to be fair with our township employees. What happens is that if, for instance, the airport hangar is rented for a weekend, we're asking an employee to stay available if something happens. And having gone through a marital event with my daughter just recently, a lot of things happen. And so this would just be one of those things where we recognize that we are asking someone to be available, and it is a cost of being in this business. So so this is Connie's first draft of what this might entail. So I guess if you could coach us on this, this is I hesitate saying we're going to make a decision on this tonight. This is the first time we've seen it, but I want us to understand it and kind of understand it. So Connie, any when you put this together, what was the kind of, you have three different options and different things. Could you tell us a little bit about what you're thinking on this policy?
So I did check around with the area municipalities to see if they had any on-call pay, but for the most part, those were for DPW employees. So it's a little different animal than what we have here. So we kind of thought if we based on the bookings, then we wouldn't be paying on-call pay when there's no events going on. If you tie it to bookings, then we know that we're paying specifically for that. There's various rates that you can use. There is enough money in the Parks and Recreation Fund to cover this cost. And in terms of fairness, I think it's fair to the employee who's somewhat limited then on what they can do on the weekends that you consider this.
You also have the bottom side of spending right.
Yeah, the busy seasons, I think, are spring and summer. And then, once we get past the holidays, it's kind of dead, I think, in the winter months. So that's another reason to tie it to an actual booking. But that's not the only way you could do it. You could choose a flat amount if you prefer as well.
Okay. And you have rates per booking. I see 25, 35, 50. Is that just a suggestion?
Suggestions, just so you can see what the impact is in terms of dollars.
Okay. All right. And so just a sense of, we had actually 99, 96, 70 bookings over the last 3 years. Mm-hmm. So that's really what we're looking at. So we are we're an active rental company, if you want to say it that way.
Sure. The most previous year, it did decline a little bit, and that I assume is because we raised the rates. But now we have the airport hangar that's available as well. So I'm not sure how that's going to impact the number.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Questions or comments? Is something new for
I think it's fair to do it. The employee has to stay in town. They can't go away. Mm-hmm. And I think they need to be compensated.
Yeah. So just to be clear, the $25 or $35 or $50 is actually a pay that you get even if there's no call, correct?
No,
but it's
only when it's booked. Oh, when it's booked.
When it's booked. Yeah, but then if you go on site and spend an hour or two, you get paid. You get paid to solve the issue. Yeah. So you understand? You get paid regardless. Yeah, you get paid regardless. Yes, that is correct. Yeah. So I just want to make sure there's there'd be two payments. If you're on call, that's always there. That'd be there if it's rented. If you called into the process, you get paid for the time spent to fix things. So the reality is it's not truly a cost of the township issue. It would be coming out of the rental issue. Yep. And possibly next year when we review the rental rates, we assess whether that is appropriately covered by the rental rates. Yep. Yep. And we can make a decision tonight on this if you like. So.
And does one person cover all the rentals? Yeah. I'm assuming that's the way it would be, correct?
Generally, yes.
Okay.
My voice doesn't carry, so I'm excited to come up here. Yeah, right now it's just the one person recreation programmer. There is Nick and maintenance is on call in case she has to go out of town for the weekend.
Right. And so what does this cover? What rental areas? Montman Center,
Airport
hangar?
hangar. Is there anything else, Jordan? Is there anything besides the airport hangar and the mountain center? Mhm.
Well, then the reason I asked the question, that makes a difference as far as what rate I would choose as to the number of places that you have to cover.
Yep. All right. Would anybody like to make a motion to make a decision on this? I don't sense that, I don't sense that we have any argument with this, and I think we should make a decision on it. If I can be so bold, I think we ought to go at $35, the middle one, and see how it works this year, and then determine whether that's fair or not next year. Would that be, am I too bold or too lucrative?
No, I wouldn't do 25. 25 is too cheap. If you're covering all day on Saturday, that's a pretty small hourly wage
Yep.
to spend your weekend in town if you wanted to be somewhere.
Yep. Well said. Would you go? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I hear two colleagues saying 50.
I'll make a motion
Jan, please.
for the $50 per booking. And also approve the back pay that she's been doing. For those hours.
All right.
I'll support.
All right. Any further questions or comments on that? Good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Great. Well, thank you. All right. So we got that done. Fantastic. All right. Moving on to 11D. Zoning Ordinance Amendment, repeal section 38-184-14, section 38-214-16. And Mika, thanks for leading us in this discussion. Thank you.
Sure. This was a public hearing, and this was held at the Planning Commission meeting this past month. This repeals two mirror sections of the ordinance. It's the same provision. It's in two zoning districts as that it appears. It's a provision that allows for agricultural buildings to be used for other commercial purposes such as boat storage, and that just repeals that section of the ordinance.
Sure. I'd like to thank you for all the hard work on this and explain to us what it all means. It's all been our board packet, so it is very well documented. So thank you. Any questions for Mika before we put a motion on the floor on this?
No, I think the information you gave us, is great. So, I totally understand.
All right. Okay. Super. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the proposed ordinance.
Great. Support. Thank you. All right. Any further questions or comments for Mika or colleagues? All right. Oh, Dan, you looks like you're ready to say something.
I would do a roll call vote because it's an ordinance.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that reminder. All right. So, Clerk Zurich?
Trustee Clark,
Yes.
trustee Gerard.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Sernay,
Yes.
trustee Stecker,
Yes.
Treasurer.
supervisor.
Yeah, yes.
Zero.
The motion passes. All right, thank you. All right, super. Thank you, Dan, for that reminder. All right. Just clicking through these things. All right. 11E, property tax poverty exemption guidelines resolution. Okay, I have to admit that was a new one for me. Al Nightcamp is not here, but he gave us information and I have to admit, he said it was self-explanatory. Please, yeah, save me here. Say,
It's just leaving out, the highlighted red, qualifications are still the same. And people do need to file those on a yearly basis.
thank you, Jan. All right. I have a high level of trust that our assessor completely understands what he's doing, so I'm gonna make the motion myself. Make a motion that we approve the property tax poverty exemption guidelines as presented by our colleague Al Nightcamp, the assessor.
Support.
All right. With that in mind, any questions or comments about this one? All right, I'll call for the questions. So all in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, motion passes. All right, next one, F. 2025 bike path and retaining walls proposal. So, Mr. Matt, are you on this one? The walls and the bike path?
Okay. And said that it would be self-explanatory.
Okay, all right.
Like, unfortunately, I don't know if I'm on the project.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Question self-explanatory. Okay. The question I had, it wasn't clear to me about where the where is. It would. On the proposal, it wasn't clear where the repairs are actually taking place. Connie? Oh, Connie. All right. Save us here. Thank you, Connie.
The repaving, there's only one spot that's being repaved, and that's Butternut Drive, between Quincy and 152nd. The remainder is for 3 retaining wall replacements, 2 on James Street and 1 on Butternut Drive.
Thank you. Connie, is this is not the grant that we received? Is it the section on 152nd? That's a different one, right? Different one. And so we're not approving that one yet. Okay, so this is repair in the walls. All right. Okay. Thank you, Connie. All right. The quotes are in the contract. It's $307,000. Any questions on this?
I'm making a motion to approve the contract with White's Brothers to be on $307,261 for repairs on the first as
Thank you. All right. All right. Any second to that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Michelle. All right. Okay, any further questions? No? All right. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Great, motion passes. Just a reminder that it comes out of our bike path fund. So we have money set aside for this and continually improving this. So thank you for our residents for approving that important bike path millage that keeps those paths fresh. So, all right. The next item on our board, fire truck sale. Chief, would you like to speak to this?
Yeah, the recommendation is to sell our reserve engine, the 1995 Pierce pumper. And our old tanker that we just replaced will move into that reserve capacity, giving us more water capacity as a reserve engine, which will give us more ISO points, which will give us more help in our non-hydrant areas because we'll be showing up with more water. And the offer was $29,000 for that. a couple years ago, we sold our 1996 and that went down to Arkansas and we got 9,000 for that. So this, I think, is a really good deal. We did not go with a marketing firm to sell the used equipment because we learned with the last one, they took a big percentage of the sale. And so they almost, this year I checked into it and they're about 30% of what the sale price is. And so we went local. We had our salesperson that sold us the truck. They put it on their websites and they talked to people looking for fire trucks and stuff. We had 4 local area departments come and take a look at it. Holland Township happened to sell one of their fire trucks to this place, Jefferson County in Kansas. And they said, hey, if you ever hear of any other equipment coming for sale, let us know. Jim DeGraff, one of their firefighters, let this guy know. He called me directly, sent him a bunch of pictures, and he said, we'll take it. So, with your approval of this here, we'll start taking our equipment off of it. We'll have our name and numbers taken from it. Jefferson County will work with Connie on the cash transfer, how that goes, and they will send a truck up here to pick it up and it will go to Kansas.
All right. Go. And as a board, we just have to approve the sale of this asset. And so I'll entertain a motion to sell pumper number. What's the number on this guy?
This one would be 1524.
1524. Let's wish it goodbye and let's entertain a motion to sell 1524 for $29,000. Anybody want to entertain that motion? All right.
I'll support.
Great. Super. All right. All in favor of selling 1524, say aye.
Aye.
The machine is sold. Thanks, Chief, for getting a couple extra dollars out of that.
Nice network.
Yeah. Good to know people. All right. Next time on the agenda, H. It's been an interesting season. Okay, so the next item is the status of the township manager. After nearly a decade of dedicated leadership, Manager Fink and the Park Township Board of Trustees have mutually agreed to pursue new directions. However, Fink has decided to resign his position as township manager effective August 31, 2025. However, Fink has submitted a signed agreement with the board, whereas in exchange for a release from Mr. Fink, the township will pay Mr. Fink 6 months' salary as is generally provided in his contract. On behalf of the trustees, I would like to graciously accept Manager Fink's resignation and recognize him for the great work he has done in his dedicated service and leadership to the township. Under Howard Fink's leadership, Park Township has experienced significant progress in various areas such as parks development, public safety, infrastructure management, and organizational operations. In addition, Howard Fink has been instrumental in obtaining numerous grants for the township. It's my understanding that Mr. Fink has been pursuing leadership positions in other communities, and I wish him well in his future endeavors. I'm looking for a motion to approve the acceptance of this separation agreement.
So moved.
Any other comments or questions on the motion on the floor? All right, seeing none, I'll take a motion to accept the agreement. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? No, great, thank you. All right. Discussion and possible action items. Matthew, you're up. Community parking lot.
And I apologize for not being more aware of the previous project. So next time I'll make sure to have more information and so I can speak to other projects too. So
you didn't know.
All right, I'm going to take a call this one quick.
Yes.
We have it in front of you, but just we're going to make it team. It's hold it this way. All right.
Got it. Got it. All right.
Okay. So at the last board meeting, we discussed a couple of options for the parking lot and restroom building. And I think some discussion back and forth as to which option had pros and cons of both the designs. If you recall the previous two concepts, one did not have the roundabout, one did have the restroom in a couple of different locations. And I was asked to come back and revise the design to kind of blend the two ideas. I was also asked to review the ability of the fire truck to get around the circle, and I did find that it probably needed to go, so we did expand it slightly to make sure that that traffic movement was more easily traversed. And so the concept that you see before you here did indeed show the restroom building located kind of in the green space just north of the existing sidewalk. We still have a 60-car parking lot here. Each one of those spaces is 10 feet wide. I did make the modifications to the sidewalks as we discussed, to strictly the north side of the parking lot. And really keeping the focus on getting people from the parking lot towards the pickleball facility itself. We have a rendering plane here, so it's a little easier to understand kind of the static that was going to be achieved. I've discussed before, we still have some maintained turf around areas of the parking, so it has a nice maintained look and, keeping with what you have out here. But as part of the grant project, there was some rain gardens that were required and are being utilized. That would be and there would also be an interpretive sign that would go with that to tell the public kind of what you're doing and what's the reason behind the rain garden, what its benefits to the public and to nature. As well as on the south edge of the parking lot, you'll see there's some little pockets. Those wouldn't be necessarily rain gardens, but they would be native planted detention areas to hold stormwater temporarily until it can soak back into the ground. So I just wanted to update you guys with where we're at with the design. And my goal for tonight would be just to get some general consensus that we're moving in the right direction, to take any feedback you have for me on any possible changes you'd like to see to the design. And then I also wanted to just point out that I think once we have this pinned down, we'll need to start having discussions on details with the actual building itself. And so I'd like to ask that probably Mr. Spoolhoff would work with me and whoever else he would like me to work with our architect that we've got hired to take the next steps in the detailed restroom building design. In terms of the grant agreement, we do not have grant agreements issued yet from the state. I just sent an email out today to see if I could get an update. Unfortunately, I didn't hear back yet from them. So it appears that they might end up being postponed a little bit. Typically, they would be towards the end of July. Now that we're pushing into August, it may end up, I think last year they were not until the end of September when they came out. So once the agreements come out, your board will have to approve to accept the grant. All the work we've done this year is still reimbursable, so that's not a problem. And then the 2-year clock to do the project would start once the agreement is officially signed. So we're getting ready for that preemptively here. Any questions for me on the project?
Yeah, just please. He's responded back to the comments and the input we had, and certainly let's give him more feedback.
I agree, and I think you have included everything that we asked for, and I really like that large section of handicap spots. And I appreciate the wider parking.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good suggestion you guys had.
Let's wait, because I think it's as you said, we'll talk about the bathroom design. We have a couple ideas about the bathroom design, but since we're not ready for it, catch Joan and I afterwards and we
Sure.
can make a suggestion of suggested process that we
Perfect.
might be able to give you a little feedback on that.
That'd be
Does that
awesome.
sound good?
Yeah, appreciate
Okay.
that.
I just want to appreciate you on the turnaround. We did unfortunately have some vandalism on the pickleball courts
Oh,
recently, and I think it'd just be easier for our community policing officer to make his presence known by being a little closer to the courts. And so unfortunately, there's some bad apples in our community, and we're going to raise our presence on that.
Sure.
So thank you for putting that closer there.
and as we get into the rest of the design, I'd be happy to, engage discussion with you on security cameras and those kind of things that could be added to the restroom building, quite easily. So
Super. Yeah,
Yep.
that will, yes, we will talk about that.
perfect.
Thank you.
I think it looks really good. You should take everything we said and put it into a vision.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yep. Now, just for our community's benefit, timing wise, and certainly you said we would like to get it done in the next 2 years.
Mhm.
I know there's an eagerness for this team here. We'd like to do it next year.
Yes.
Are we still next
You're
year?
definitely still on track.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, at the kind of the rate we're going with the grant agreements coming out, I would expect we'd be still going out to bid on the complete project this winter
Okay.
for spring construction
Okay.
and potentially late winter start.
Okay.
So
Fantastic. Great. I mean, I'm excited about,
Yeah.
every year we keep on adding a bit more to to our park here, and this
Yep.
is a big ad.
It is.
So, this is a big deal. Big deal.
And as we saw tonight, I think there was one parking space less when I pulled in today, so much needed as well. So
Absolutely. All right. So, motion, let's see. Do we need a motion to approve the design? So you go forward, or what do you need from us, Matt?
I think this was just a cursory review with you guys just to see if there was any more feedback you'd like me to, but I haven't heard any major changes, so I feel other than the restroom building, we're ready to move into the next steps of the design, which would be starting to get into detailed design grading, actually choosing the trees and the more detailed things to it. And I'd be happy to come update the board again once we make more progress on that.
I don't think we need to have another update on the nuances
Sure.
until you're ready to show us something on the bathroom.
Yes.
And so I would say
That's a
the next
great
time
idea.
you see you,
Yep.
would be a bathroom discussion in the
Mhm.
final details on the parking. I don't want to speak for my colleagues, but I don't want to waste our time in meetings either.
That's good. I agree.
Okay,
Excellent.
good. Matthew,
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Hey, Sid, thank you.
I'm going to leave this board with you guys in case you want to discuss it around the office too.
Yep, yeah, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Wow. All right, clicking along here. Okay, so 12B is an update on the Parks and Recreation Director and possible action items. As you know, we have been interviewing, we went out and interviewed candidates for this position for full-time Parks and Recreation Director. And a candidate was selected. And I'm going to pass the ball to Joan to give us a little bit of an update where that stands.
Yes, we did select a candidate. We selected a candidate and we communicated with her. A formal offer has not gone out. She had a couple points that she was interested in, and I think we need some discussion on. One is whether the position will be salary or hourly. And we haven't had a director at this point. So that's one of the questions. The second thing is that she asked for 5 weeks of vacation. And that is normally doesn't happen for our employees until 5 years. But she is an older employee. She's not just out of school. She's got lots of experience. And so that's the second thing that we need to talk about. And the third thing is that she's requested health care to start on day 1 as opposed to day 30. Right now, all of our employees start their health care on day 30. And I know that Howard was working toward moving all employees or all new hires to starting on day 1. But I think we need to have a decision on that as well.
So if you were to take these individually, if I can start from I would say the easy one is the health insurance starting on day 1 versus day 30. I think we should take that up as a policy change to the employee handbook at a future meeting. So this would be a good example of why we would do that. So an individual wants to have healthcare to start on day 1. So that's one issue. I think I would agree that we should start on day 1 versus day 30 for healthcare. But that's a policy change, and I would suggest that we do that policy change at a different meeting, but we would approve it here. Approve this individual item. So
For an individual.
So I will entertain a motion to approve that item. And then I'm just going backwards a little bit here, but I'll make a motion because I've been involved with Joan on this situation. I'll make a motion that we would extend employee health benefits to this candidate on day 1.
Can I ask for clarification?
Please.
Is it just this candidate or any other future staff member that we need?
Well, that would be the policy change at a future meeting. So, and I would most likely have that discussion with led by our HR consultant, Kurt, and potential future manager or interim manager, just to help us through this discussion, as I'm not qualified at that depth.
So I would support your motion.
Great, thank you, Shar. So on that individual item, can we take a vote? All in favor of that policy, that individual receiving? Yeah, second was there. I made
Oh, you made
the motion. All in favor, extending healthcare to this candidate on day 1, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, great, thank you. The next item is this 5th day or 5th week of vacation. And that's, I guess, Joan, again, the experience level is high enough that, and she's older enough that it made logical sense for us to extend an extra week. But Dan made it clear that it's outside our policy, that unfortunately would have to come to the board. So Joan, would you like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we extend her 5 weeks of vacation outside of the standards employee handbook.
Then that would be more of the exception. I don't think we would change the policy on this, but because of the circumstances of the employees.
I wouldn't stress it being on experience or age. I would express that offering as a comparable to other director positions in similar fields.
Well said. Strike what I said. All right.
So question.
Yeah, please.
Get additional, how long does she have to be here before she gets 6 weeks or another day?
I think in the employee handbook, that is 10 years. So it will be quite a long time before she gets additional vacation. Is that correct?
I believe it's 15 years in the employee handbook. That year 5 is 5 weeks. And then it's not until year 15 that it bumps up.
So it's a long time.
So I would like to keep that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
wouldn't change the.
They wouldn't change that. Yep.
No,
All right.
this would just be an exception for this employee.
Yep.
Or new hire.
Okay. So we have a motion on the floor. You don't.
I did the motion.
And I'll support it. Any questions on that? Char, you good questions? Good observation. Thank you. Please. Yeah. No.
Do you have a certain amount of time she has to put in before she's, does that, or did she like day 1?
I think is there a policy in the policy manual to say when you start taking vacation?
Well, isn't the vacation front loaded? So really on day 1, she would start taking it.
So is it prorated?
But it'd be prorated, right? It'd be prorated for this year.
Yep. Okay.
So neither this year.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Right, however prorated.
So.
Correct.
All right. Super. So on that item, I'll take a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the motion passes. All right, and the third item was,
Yeah, salary
Salary.
versus hour.
yes, I did have a conversation with our, with Joan and also with, Kurt Wassing and his recommendation, and Joe and I, had conversation about this. We are leaning towards making it a salary position versus the hourly position. Because of the scope of the job and the extent of what she's responsible for. We suggest that this this would report directly to the manager. And so we're less concerned about the hours she puts in, but the job she does. He or she does. So
That, especially with it being with a director.
yeah.
Did we ever get a job description?
Yes, we did.
We did. How long ago was that?
Oh,
I'm just not remembering it. It might be,
yeah, we
would have been nice to see if we're voting on this stuff. So, but no, I just don't remember it. So as long as we had it, okay.
I think the job description stated that it was hourly position. But we had that discussion with Ann and she did not have any preference whether it was hourly or salary.
yes.
Because the recreation, there are weekends, there are evenings, you know. It's really hard to go on hourly and keep track of all.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah. So Joan and I, our recommendation is that it would be an exempt position. So, okay, Joan, you want to make that motion?
I'll make a motion that the new Parks and Recreation Director be a salary position.
Support.
Great, thank you.
Sorry, just one other question.
Please.
Has the salary been established?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
And I have one question. If she happens to be on call and she's salary, would she still get that on-call rate? Would that be an additional?
I would like to think she does. Or
Just keep it simple. The answer would be yes, in my mind, it's still above me on.
I think so too. It just,
yeah.
It's a great question.
Good question. Good observation. I mean, good pickup since we just approved it.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
The job description was approved by the board in February of 2025.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Dan, for digging into that. All right, so make a motion. The motion's on the floor, supported for this position to be salaried, exempt, and all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion passes. Okay, so as we move forward on this, I'm just going to make the suggestion that I hate to say it, her onboarding is in conjunction with a potential interim manager that Joan and I and Jan somewhat step aside. And so not to have her come in with we want her to have a good experience joining our team. Let me just say that. And we're all part-timers. And so I just want to recognize that when we do have a manager, that's the care and concern that we want for new employees, that they onboard correctly. And so I am working hard to figure out, and actually the three of us are working hard to figure out this interim solution. And so you'll know more by next week, Thursday, if we come up with a solution. And so I'm just kind of prepping you, saying we're going to kind of pass the ball, this person's, final negotiation, the contract to this new person. And I think it just makes it more sense for a professional manager to own it than the three of us. I'm giving us a pass in some sense. Does that make sense, Jen?
Continue to communicate with her until we can make that pass to the interim manager.
Yes. So that makes sense.
To make sure she's on board.
Yes. Yeah. This is an important position that she starts well and is led well and joins our team well. So
yeah, and just for your information too, she's asked for a start date of September 29th.
Yep. So great. All right. Well, thank you for that. It's a little more detailed than we typically get into, but because of the policy, we had to talk about these things. So thank you for that. All right, thank you. So we're going into our second public comment. So again, this is your opportunity, public. You've been patient as can be. Thank you. If there's any comments or questions that come to mind during this meeting, we certainly are open to it. And please, I'll start on the left side, please.
Jeff Martin from, I live at 2214 Sunset Bluff. Just want to thank Joe Bush and the Water Resource Commission. I want to encourage the continued support for this, servicing this Lake Breeze drain. I live in that neighborhood and it's been problematic for a while, so.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Going back row. No. Okay, switching to the other side. Anybody? All right, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. All right, thank you. All right, so 14, board comments and committee agency reports. We heard a great report from the Ottawa County Fair. Anything to add? I'll start on the left side.
Covered it all. As far as the CPA, we had to go.
All right. You had a great week for the fair. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a drier week. Now hot, but a week.
And I do want to thank you.
Thank you. Jan,
We didn't have a nice transportation, there were no action items, so they postponed the meeting. So there's something reported.
For the West Michigan Regional Airport, just one point of interest. We have installed an electric charging station there for both vehicles as well as planes. And we had our first electric plane to fly into the West Michigan Airport. They were making fly-throughs or fly-ins to all the charging stations around the state. And of course, we were one of the very few that has an electrical charging station.
Do you charge for it?
I think so.
No pun intended. No pun intended.
And then a second thing is that we had a successful election in August. We had 178 absentee ballots and 41 in-person votes for a total of 219 total ballots. And that represented only 18% of the turnout. Of course, this was for the school.
Public schools, right?
Yeah. And we do not have an election scheduled for November. We thought maybe we would have a ballot for that. But they have decided not to put that on the ballot, so we will not have an election for November, which is good.
So just for clarification, the election was only on the south side.
Correct.
Yep.
It was only in precinct 2 and the south side.
Yep. Thanks.
Just wish Mr. Fink well, but I want to publicly thank Supervisor Spoelhoff for your leadership. So appreciate all your hard work and everything you're putting into it, and good work.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Planning Commission, we have 3 items on our agenda. The first one took up a considerable amount of time. It was public hearing for Point Rusty 1, and it was a major amendment to their existing PUD. What's very interesting about the entire discussion, it rotated about a roughly 3.5 acre parcel of sand dune. It happens to be the backyard of approximately 17 properties. It's undevelopable, it's not developable. Exactly word, developable, not buildable. How's that one? And so the owner has suggested a boundary line change to the existing properties that those homeowners will then just absorb the portion behind them. The advantage is going to be they'd be responsible for maintaining it. If trees come down or if there's any issues, there's an actual property owner that can maintain it, and it's not a little island of property that nobody can do anything about. We did table the discussion, so when we back before us, we requested that a forestry plan be put in place where all the property owners would agree to how they would maintain and take care of that sand dune. And we asked for 100% consensus on that as well, so stay tuned. Second item was Foxglove Site condominium PUD. It was extremely preliminary and it was just giving our team an overview of what people would be thinking of. It's on the south side. And then the public hearing with ordinance amendment is what we had discussed and voted on earlier in our meetings. That was it.
Great. Thank you, sure. Right.
Just a general comment, I know we have a work session some week, but it would be appropriate to have what we just talked about as far as health care starting on day one.
Yes, I think we can. Yeah. Yeah, no, we can add that. You do have a packet for next week's agenda. And so we can add that as a addendum. I can talk to Julie. Thank you. Okay, all right. All right, thank you, Brian. I received a note. It's sometimes the Ottawa County Road Commission does things that we disagree with, but in this case, I just want to get affirmation from my colleagues on before I reply to Mr. Fred Keenan. The question was asked in the corner or the intersection of 160th and Riley has been identified as a more dangerous intersection, a growing dangerous intersection, and is above the safety norms that the Ottawa County Road Commission will accept. And Mr. Keenan asked us if we would have any objections if that 160th and Riley corner goes to a four-way stop. Now, typically, they will do that regardless of whether we agree or not. I would like to be cooperative with them and get your opinion and say, okay, I'm all for slowing things down. That's a road that I go almost daily, if not twice or three times daily down, and it gets going. And there has been numerous accidents, unfortunately, on that corner. So I can affirm that, but I'm looking at you guys. Would you also have any opinions on that corner before I reply back to Mr. Keenan?
So,
good. All right. Any other comments or questions?
Boards would they make it noticeable? You know,
Okay.
I even like the solar, like you very much.
I can make that. I can make that as I could suggest that. Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good. I just have to be very proud of our McIntyre Area Coordinating Council. The team over there has done a fantastic job doing safety planning for our region. Sometimes we get a little bit lulled into it, just things just happen. But I just have to say, I sit on this board and I see what the MAC does in coordinating safety, road changes, federal funding. I mean, it is really affects us all, and we always move to the east when we leave our community, and fortunately they really do well with everything to the east. One of the items that's on their long-term plan is to affect that corner that's still in our township is the roundabout corner by DNW, and they're talking about changing that really weird corner, that Butternut and Riley, to a roundabout. And if it happens, hallelujah. But boy, it's not easy what they're proposing. And so I won't even show you the picture of what they're proposing, but I just have to be proud that we're part of a community that works together. And the McIntyre Area Coordinating Council is really doing good work. Hopefully in our lifetime, we see some significant changes on the road. Sometimes these things take so long. They're talking about 27, 28, 29. And we're like, God bless you. My window of future is doesn't go quite that far, but they do. They get in. They plan those things. So I just want to say thank you to my colleagues. I want to say special thank you to Dan He and I have talked numerous occasions, but this past week, a couple weeks, and I just want to say thank you to Dan for your professionalism and your service to the township. Behind the scenes, you do a wonderful job. I just want to acknowledge that you keep us on the straight and narrow, and I honor and respect what you do for us. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So, with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you.
You got it. It's a nice.